Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive.
Absolutely.
Today, we're going to be looking at something that I think is going to resonate with pretty much everyone.
Okay.
We're talking about finances,
All
or
right.
more specifically,
Right.
bad financial decisions.
Oh, yeah.
And we found a great Reddit thread where people are
Ah,
sharing their worst financial decisions ever
I can only imagine.
and what they learned from it.
Okay.
So I think this is something that I think we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
We've all made those money mistakes.
Everyone has.
So let's dive in and see what kind of wisdom we can glean from other people's mistakes.
Sounds good.
So one thing that really jumped out at me
Okay.
in this thread was how often family dynamics
Oh, yeah.
play a role in these financial decisions.
Definitely.
And the top comment from a user named Yuaniwai1 really highlights this.
Okay.
They talked about how they kept giving money to their parents,
Oh.
hoping it would help solve their problems,
Mm.
but ultimately realized it was just enabling
Yeah.
unhealthy behaviors.
It's so tough.
Right? It's that classic struggle
Yeah.
between wanting to help your family,
Of course.
but also realizing you can't fix everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. It's a really tough situation because there are
Yes.
so many emotions involved, right?
Yeah.
You've got love, guilt, obligation,
Yeah.
and it can be incredibly difficult to set boundaries,
Oh, for sure.
especially with those closest to us.
Yes, especially with family.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And sometimes those family financial situations
That's right.
can take a really unexpected turn.
Uh-huh.
Like there was this story from Shakuri Curry Curry 15
Okay.
about their grandpa, who was a World War II veteran,
Okay.
and he would steal money for scratch-off tickets.
Oh, no.
It's kind of funny, but also sad.
It is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a reminder that money can bring out
Yeah.
these complexities and contradictions even within families.
Right.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, how cultural norms around supporting family
Mm-hmm.
can really vary.
Totally.
Like there was another comment from Yarnacre HS,
Okay.
and they pointed out that in some cultures,
Mm-hmm.
financially supporting your parents is just expected.
Right.
It's not seen as a burden.
Right.
It's just part of the culture.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's just a good reminder that there are a lot of different perspectives on what's normal when
Yeah.
it comes to family and finances.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
we've talked about family.
Right.
Let's move on to some individual financial decisions
Okay.
that people shared in this Reddit thread.
Right.
And there were several stories that focused on risky ventures.
Okay.
And one that really stood out to me was from a user named JudgeBread3.
Okay.
And they talked about how they worked insane hours at a startup
Oh, wow.
for the promise of a big bonus.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge gamble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat reading this one.
Oh.
So did it pay off?
It did actually. Really? Yeah. It's a really great example of calculated risk.
Wow.
You know, they weighed the potential reward
Mm-hmm.
against the effort and the uncertainty,
Yeah,
and it worked out.
that's amazing.
Yeah. But of course, it doesn't always end that way.
Right, of course not.
So it's always really important to consider
Yeah,
the potential downsides before you make a decision like that.
absolutely. So speaking of risky decisions,
Okay.
let's talk about risky purchases.
Okay.
There was this funny observation
Yeah.
from a user named Silent Samurai
Okay.
about Lego's long-term strategy.
Okay. What's that?
Well, they joke about how Lego hooks you when you're a kid
Mm-hmm.
with these simple sets.
Right.
And then when you're an adult,
Mm-hmm.
they release these elaborate, expensive ones
Yeah.
that play on your nostalgia.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny because it's true.
It is.
It really taps into that power of brand loyalty
Yeah.
and how our childhood experiences can influence us
Yeah.
even as adults.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of love leading to
Oh,
big
but-
spending decisions,
Yeah.
the Reddit thread had some truly touching stories about pets.
Oh.
Like one user, Yusanov Tukan Sam,
Yeah.
shared that they set a $10,000 line of credit for
Wow.
their cat's care.
That's amazing.
Talk about unconditional love.
It's a beautiful example of prioritizing that bond,
Mm-hmm.
you know, above financial worries.
Yeah.
But it does also highlight the importance of planning.
Right.
You know, vet bills can be really expensive,
That's right.
especially if there's an unexpected illness or injury.
For sure.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Okay.
there was kind of a contrasting story
Okay.
from a user named Floston's Paradise 123.
Okay.
They shared about their friend who took out a second mortgage
Oh, wow.
to pay for their dog's cancer treatment,
Mm-hmm.
which is really touching.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it created a rift in his marriage.
Oh, no. That's so sad.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it really underscores how important it is
Right.
to make those big financial decisions together,
Yes.
especially when it comes to pet care.
especially when it comes to something that big.
Yeah, communication is key,
Yeah.
for sure.
Uh-huh.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about investments,
Oh,
which can be both exciting and terrifying,
they can be.
right?
Absolutely. It's a space that requires careful consideration,
Yeah,
research,
Mhm.
and understanding your own risk tolerance.
yes, definitely. And based on this Reddit thread,
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest regrets that people have
Okay.
is not starting to invest earlier.
Oh.
There was this user at UTR,
Okay.
and it said they wish they had started in their 20s.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of people feel that way.
I think so too. It's a common sentiment, and it makes sense when
Yeah.
you think about the power of compounding over time.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
even if you haven't started early,
Right.
it's never too late to start.
Exactly. The key is to educate yourself
Yeah,
and develop a plan that aligns with your goals.
for sure. So speaking of risk, the thread also had some examples
Mm-hmm.
of what can happen when emotions drive investment decisions.
Oh, yeah. Fear and panic can be really dangerous.
Yes.
Mhm.
There was a user, My God, who shared their experience buying Boeing stock
Oh.
right before a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, no.
And it really highlights how those emotions
Yeah.
can lead to impulsive decisions.
Absolutely.
And often result in losses,
Yeah. It's important to remember that investing is a long game,
right?
and those short-term market fluctuations are totally normal.
Exactly. And, even when things go wrong,
Hmm.
sometimes a little bit of humor can help.
For sure.
There was this comment from you, Just Some Dude 13, about Boeing eventually needing to tighten the bolts.
Mm-hmm.
So, trying to keep things in perspective.
Right.
So before we move on to some more stories from this Reddit thread,
All right.
I just wanted to take a moment to remind you
Yes.
that you're listening to Voices of the Soul.
Of course.
And if you're enjoying this deep dive,
Yeah.
please hit that subscribe button
Yeah,
to
definitely.
make sure you don't miss any future episodes.
We really appreciate that.
And if you're listening on a platform
Mm-hmm.
that allows it,
Yeah.
a 5-star rating would be amazing.
Yeah. That would really help other people discover the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We really
yeah.
appreciate your support.
Yes. Thank you.
And if you're looking for more in-depth content,
Okay.
be sure to check out our YouTube channel,
Mhm.
Shauna Pelage,
Yeah.
where we explore a wide range of fascinating topics.
Oh, we do?
All right, so let's get back to those Reddit confessions.
Okay. Let's do it.
Get ready for some tales that will make you cringe,
Right.
laugh, and maybe even shed a tear.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, so this next story is really sad.
Oh, no.
It really highlights how scammers can prey on people
Yeah.
who are feeling emotionally vulnerable.
Right.
This user, UToxicZombie361, shared how they lost their entire savings
Wow.
in a romance scam.
Oh, that's awful.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
And unfortunately, these scams are becoming more and more sophisticated,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
which makes them even harder to detect.
Right. They often target people
Mm.
who are feeling lonely or isolated, and they exploit that desire for connection.
Right, people just wanting to find someone.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a good reminder to be really cautious
Yeah.
when you're interacting with people online,
Definitely.
especially on dating platforms.
Especially on those apps. Yeah.
Yeah, and no matter how convincing someone's story might seem,
Right.
you should never send money
Never.
to someone you haven't met in person.
Exactly. And you really need to vet them.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
If something feels off
Mm-hmm.
or too good to be true,
Yeah.
it probably is.
It probably is. Trust your instincts
Yes.
and talk to a friend or a family member.
Get a second opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so from matters of the heart
Okay.
to matters of dissolving those ties.
Okay.
The Reddit thread also had some stories about the financial fallout of divorce.
Oh, yeah. Divorce can be really messy,
It can be.
especially financially.
Yeah, one Redditor, Deedly Ann Razor,
Okay.
shared how they cashed out their 401k at 37
Oh, wow.
to get rid of debt during a divorce. And they admitted that it felt like the easy button at the time.
Yeah.
But now they realize that they lost out on years
Right.
of potential growth.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's a classic example of short-term relief
Yeah.
leading to long-term consequences.
Exactly. And divorce is such an emotional time.
It is.
So it's really important to think clearly and maybe get some financial advice.
Yes, definitely.
Before making any big decisions.
It's like making decisions in the eye of a storm.
It is. You're not thinking straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Your judgment is clouded
Exactly.
by all the stress and the upheaval.
Yeah. It's so important to have a clear head
Yeah.
and get some objective guidance.
Absolutely. And even outside of major life events like divorce, our emotions can sometimes lead us astray financially.
Yeah.
Like several people on the thread mentioned, regretting
Okay.
buying brand new cars when they couldn't really afford them.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one before.
It's tempting, right?
It is. That new car smell is intoxicating,
It is.
but that excitement fades pretty quickly.
This guy.
And then you're stuck with those payments.
Right, and the depreciation.
Exactly.
There was one user agreeing Storm 9 who shared that
Okay.
they felt completely crushed by the $400 monthly payments
Wow.
on their brand new car.
Oof.
And they ended up hating the car.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's rough.
It is. It's just a good example of how our feelings can really cloud our judgment.
Thank you.
When it comes to spending money.
Definitely. So it's good to develop that financial literacy
Mm-hmm.
and learn to separate your emotions from your decisions.
So true. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about the crypto craze.
Oh, boy.
There were quite a few stories in this Reddit thread
Yeah.
about people's experiences with cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm.
There was one user, Paula Dean Loves Butter,
Okay.
who had a great comment.
Okay, what did they say?
They said that anything that volatile
Right.
and unregulated
Yeah.
needs to be treated with extreme caution.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, I agree. It's important to be skeptical.
Yeah.
Especially in the crypto world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there was this story from Laser 5
Okay.
about their co-worker who lost a significant amount of money on a meme coin.
Oh, no.
They got caught up in the FOMO.
Yeah, the fear of missing out.
Yeah, and it led to some impulsive decisions
Oh, yeah.
with some pretty disastrous consequences.
That's a good reminder to just take a step back sometimes and not get swept up in all the hype.
Yeah, it's like jumping on a runaway train.
Exactly. You don't know where it's going.
Right.
You could end up anywhere.
And speaking of hype,
Okay.
even investments that seem safe can be tricky.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There was this user, Samba Demon, who jokingly claimed to have single-handedly caused Walmart and Meta to lose money
Oh, no.
by investing in them.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a humorous take on the market,
Right.
but it also highlights a key principle of investing:
Yeah, what's that?
diversification.
Oh, yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Spread your investments across different asset classes
Right.
to help mitigate risk.
Yeah, and potentially improve your returns.
Okay, that's great advice.
Yeah.
So from the world of stocks
Okay.
to something a little less glamorous,
Right.
let's talk about timeshare.
Oh, yeah, timeshares.
Yeah, the allure of vacation ownership
Ah,
often overshadows the reality of
Right.
those long-term financial commitments.
it does. And the potential headaches.
Oh, yeah. There was this story from Notre Dame
Okay.
about being talked into a timeshare
Uh-huh.
by their ex's cousin
Oh,
during a vacation,
that sounds familiar.
right? It's a good reminder to be wary of those emotional appeals. And high-pressure sales tactics,
Oh, yeah, especially from family or friends.
especially from family, yeah.
It can be really hard to say no.
Can be,
Okay.
but any major financial commitment
Right.
requires thorough research and careful consideration.
Absolutely. Don't let yourself get swayed by
Yeah.
pressure or excitement.
So as we start to wrap up this part of our deep dives,
Okay.
I want to shift gears slightly and
Wow.
talk about a broader takeaway
Okay.
that emerged from this Reddit thread.
What's that?
Well, amidst all these stories of financial missteps
Yeah.
and regret,
Mm-hmm.
there was also this strong undercurrent
Okay.
of learning and growth.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. A lot of Redditors emphasize the importance
Mm-hmm.
of not dwelling on past mistakes,
Right.
but using those experiences
Yeah.
to make better choices in the future.
That's a great way to look at it.
It is. It's about turning those setbacks
Yeah.
into stepping stones.
Exactly.
Like one user, Pat New11, who's currently dealing with student loan debt, pointed out that even negative experiences
Right.
can lead to valuable financial lessons.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
become much more financially savvy.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a good reminder that we all make mistakes,
they do.
but it's how we respond to those mistakes
Right.
that really matters.
And that's a great note to end on for this part of our deep dive.
All right.
We'll be back in a moment
Sounds good.
to explore a few more stories
Okay.
and leave you with some final thoughts.
I'm looking forward to it.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of financial oops moments.
It's amazing how these personal stories can teach us so much.
Yeah, amidst all the stories of financial missteps and regret, there was this theme that kept popping up:
Okay, what's that?
the challenge of delaying gratification.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, so many people expressed regret over those
Hmm.
impulsive purchases or not saving enough early on.
It's that classic struggle
Yeah.
between instant satisfaction and long-term planning.
Exactly. And it's something we all deal with.
Yeah, we do.
But becoming aware of it can help us make better choices.
For sure.
Like there was this user, you throw away 42069 Blazy.
Okay.
They shared how they racked up credit card debt in their 20s, chasing those fleeting pleasures.
Yeah, been there.
And now they're paying the price with those high interest rates.
It's so easy to fall into that trap.
It is. Credit cards can be really dangerous.
They can be if you don't use them responsibly.
Right. It's so important to understand how interest works
Yeah,
and create a budget.
absolutely. Those are essential tools.
And it seems like those buy now, pay later schemes
yeah.
are making it even harder to resist temptation.
They are. They make it so easy to overspend.
They do, because you don't feel like you're spending the money right away.
Exactly. It's like, it's not real money.
Right.
But it is. It is. You have to treat those payments just like any other debt.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So from impulse buys
Yep.
to bigger life choices,
Mm-hmm.
the thread also had some reflections on career decisions that impacted finances.
Right. Because your job obviously affects your income.
It does. And a few people talked about choosing passion over practicality.
Oh, yeah. Following your dreams.
Yes. But sometimes with mixed results.
It's not always easy.
It's not.
Yeah.
There's this user, You Starving Artist, 1995, who pursued their dream of becoming a musician.
Good for them.
But now they're struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah. That's the tough part.
It is. But they said they wouldn't change a thing.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
a powerful reminder that fulfillment
Yeah.
doesn't always equal financial stability.
That's true. It's a trade-off.
It is, and it's a personal choice.
Yeah. You have to weigh those factors carefully.
But it doesn't mean you have to completely sacrifice passion.
Right.
Maybe it's about finding a balance,
Yeah.
pursuing your interests,
Mm-hmm.
while also developing some marketable skills.
Exactly. You can be strategic about it.
So before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to circle back to something we mentioned earlier,
Right.
learning from our mistakes.
Yes. Such an important lesson.
Yeah, several Redditors offered some great advice,
Okay. Wait.
encouraging others to really embrace financial literacy.
Oh, yeah. Knowledge is power.
It is like this user finance guru wannabe
Okay.
suggested there are tons of resources available.
There are books, podcasts, websites.
You can learn pretty much anything online these days.
You can, and don't forget about financial advisors.
Oh, yeah, those could be super helpful.
They can give you personalized guidance.
Absolutely.
So, as we conclude our deep dive
Yeah.
into these financial confessions,
Mm-hmm.
what key takeaway would you leave our listeners with?
I would say everyone makes financial mistakes,
They do. It's part of being human.
but by learning from those mistakes, we can create a better future.
Beautifully said. And remember, you're not alone in this.
We're all in this together.
We are. We all have those facepalm moments.
Yeah, we do.
The important thing is to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep learning.
And keep growing.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to subscribe to Voices of the Soul. Yeah, and check out our YouTube channel, Shauna Pelage.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed.
And stay financially savvy.
Bye, everyone.